Hello, everyone, and we welcome you into Golf Center's coverage of the 25th Annual Golfweek Amateur Tour National Championship. Chris Tremblay, joined by Bob Stevens, 927 bodies playing in this one.
It felt like a cavalry charge at times, but they were spread out over all of the great courses that we have here in the Low Country, and I think, as you're going to hear in the next half hour, most of them having a pretty good time, especially the folks that hoisted the trophies at the end.
Absolutely. The tournament is 54 holes, generally 54 holes of stroke play. Because of rain in the second round, it's been cut down to 36 holes. It is individual, 5 flights, so everybody's got to play out their own ball, and sometimes that can get a little messy.
Well, it can get messy, but it's a whole lot of fun because you're playing with people at your skill level. The D-flight players, you'll see them play later on, they're playing with each other. They're 20 handicappers and higher, but they love the competition. I think that's the one thing we learn here in the Golfweek Amateur Tour. Everybody here loves to compete.
And we have a local leading the championship flight, Jeff Wong, and that's never happened. Somebody from the Hilton Head Savannah Tour that has won that. So it should be interesting to see what happens in our coverage today.
All right, you had a chance to talk with Dennis McCormick, the guy who has to organize this thing and remember everybody's name. Here's that interview.
Anybody that's had anything to do with the Golfweek Amateur Tour knows the gentleman to my right here, Dennis McCormick, who runs the tour and is the tournament chairman for the national championship here this week. Dennis, 14th year here on Hilton Head, but most importantly, the 25th year of the tournament. Where does time go?
I know, 25 years, it's hard to believe. All started in Charlotte with 50 guys. Now we're up to 5,400 members across the country in 49 cities.
927 players here this week. But not only that, next week we also have the senior version of the Golfweek Amateur Tour National Championship.
That is correct. We have a 36-hole championship next week, and it's the most ever for the senior. 325 guys, so compounded with the 927, there are over 1,250 golfers on this island this week.
We have that many players. How many courses are we using for the tournament proper?
We're using 8 courses. All the courses are on the island except Hampton Hall out in Bluffton.
Sponsors play a huge part of this tournament, not only the tournament, but throughout the course of the year. Let's talk about them and their role this week.
Sure. Well, as always, Golfweek is my engine. They do a great job for us nationally, giving us exposure. Edwin Watts, Worldwide Golf, is our gift card sponsor. TaylorMade has their professional fitting team on the range all week. And then all of our other ancillary sponsors, Echo Shoes, we appreciate it very much, and Lampkin Grips.
Let's get back to talking about the tour. This is the first year that you've had somebody from every section represented here. How much growth has the tour gone through in the last year?
Yeah, pretty crazy. So we have 49 tours across the country. All tours are represented here this week. The growth, we're up about 10%. I mean, when we get to the size that we're at, if you can do a 5 to 10% bump in any business, you'll be very happy. I'm opening next year in Seattle, Austin, Portland, Richmond, and possibly Reno, Tahoe. So the West Coast is my target now.
So many places for people to play. I don't know how you don't get involved if you're not already. Live scoring, something that helps everybody, whether you're here or not, tell what's going on. How did that come about, and how's that working?
Yeah, it's a guy who runs my Michigan tour, Jamie Gillian, developed it. And right now the guys are entering scores. They know where they stand. Our cash games are shown, so they know if they got a big skin. Today there's $4,000 just in the skin pot.
What a great thing. I know that I'm going to be using it today as we're trying to follow the leaders. Let's get into something that's a little closer to your heart, the Stand Up to Cancer campaign. How does that become part of the tournament, and what steps are being made to keep increasing the pot in that and the contributions?
Right. Several years ago, I lost 2 tour directors to cancer. I lost my mom when I was in college. We all said we needed to have a charity involved with this, so as a group, we decided to go with Stand Up to Cancer. We are currently the 5th largest team in the country, $250,000 and growing. As we just talked about live score, Jamie Gillian is undergoing cancer treatment right now as we speak, and thoughts and prayers to him and his wife, Michelle.
Our thoughts are certainly with them, as are yours, no doubt about it.
All right.
How does somebody get involved in the Golfweek Amateur Tour if they're not already in?
Sure. Webpage, amateurgolftour.net, or Google Golfweek Amateur Tour, or most local courses have our brochures and posters in it. And there's basically the webpage is probably the best way to get all the information and get signed up and get ready, because we start January 1 right after this is over.
Dennis, thanks so much for your time. Here's to another 25 years.
Thank you, Chris.